one is a stickler right there. But I'm giving you these pointers. I'm going to elaborate on these a little bit. Amen? And all these pointers that I'm giving you. Number 5, the principal key given to mankind is management. The principal key given to mankind is management. Management. And let me say this because, you know, I've been pastoring now for over 14 years, going on 15 this year. And majority of those 14 plus years, I thought that, you know, it was all about just hitting the streets, evangelizing, you know, and just focusing on evangelism and focusing on really just making sure people are happy and people are okay and satisfied and sometimes even tailor the message. And even when God gives me a word, sometimes I'm looking at it and the way He gives me, and I'm saying, well, Lord, if I even tell them the way you give me, it might just cause people to leave. And so we were so concerned about how to keep the people. And we not understanding that the principal thing is to manage what God gives us. And so God taught me and He showed me, and I've been praying and fasting and saying, God, I need to know why the church isn't growing the way I believe it should grow. Why the finances aren't coming in the way they're supposed to. And you said in your word that you want us to prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. And God says, well, you got to look from within yourself. If I call you to lead, then you know you got to start leading from home, right? And you got to learn how to manage from home first. And so God had me go back and look at my own life, my own personal finances, my own personal life, my marriage, everything. And God says you got to look at it from the standpoint of management. Amen? And I begin to study this thing and get into the Word of God. And I even bought some other books on management and money and all that stuff. And I was somebody that was deep in debt. I know, I'm sure, I told you what I'm bringing is what I've studied and my personal experience. And so, I remember I needed a car. This was some years ago. And I needed a car. And my credit was so bad that I couldn't get it. Somebody told me, go to this little place. And they said, no matter how bad your credit is, they can help you. So I went there. The guy looked at everything and he came back and says, we can't even help you. That's how bad it was, Pastor. Okay? See, I can talk to you like this today. It doesn't matter because that's not where I am today. You understand what I'm saying to you? And so, I had to get somebody to co-sign for me. And I'm telling you, they co-signed for a loan for 4 years. And boy, they held that thing over my head. Okay? And I remember I looked at my wife and I said, that was a turning point. I was so embarrassed. And I said, okay, this is enough. I will never allow this to happen to me ever again. And at the time, that was the time God was saying, you got to look at everything you're doing and how you're doing it. And so I ended up beginning to study finance and how to manage money. And my wife was pretty much same like me. She was a little better than me, but not too far off. You know, and it was my responsibility as a husband and a leader to really turn everything around. So I told her, I said, I need you to trust me. I'm going to turn this thing around. And to God be the glory, I studied it, I looked at it, and I began to apply the principles that I learned and turn my whole financial situation around. Turn it around completely. Glory to God. So, God, and the moment, Pastor, I did that, and I looked at the church and began to to manage that thing well and God began to turn things around in my personal life. God began to turn things around in the church. Glory to God. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? And 2 years ago, I taught this, part of this, because it took me almost 4 months to teach the whole management series. And so God began to use me to teach the church and show the church. And there were people in the church that was in the same boat that I was in. And I was able to help them get out of it and help them to elevate themselves and show them how to manage. Because the Bible is very clear. If you cannot manage something, God is not going to give you more. All right? He's not giving it to you. Pray all you want. Fast. Do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, if you don't learn how to manage what God has given to you, more is not going to come. If we don't learn how to manage the people God give us, more ain't coming. If you don't learn to manage your money, more ain't coming. If you don't manage your marriage, you'll see. You'll see. Now watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Management requires work, and this is why we rather a miracle than to work. Hello? One of the biggest things, everybody in the church, I want a miracle. Lord, show us a miracle. Show us, and the Bible is very clear. The miracles, the Bible says miracles are for the unbelievers. Uh-oh. Preach. It says it. Amen, somebody. Amen. In Matthew chapter 12, verse 38, 39, then some of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law said to him, Teacher, we want to see a sign from you. He answered, a wicked and adulterous generation asks for a sign. Yes. But none will be given it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. See, management, write this down, management, the definition, the effective, efficient, correct, and timely use of another person's property and resources for the purpose to which they are delegated with a view to producing the expected added value back to the person. The short version, okay, if management is simply managing another person's resources to the point where you're able to give back, watch this, more than what they gave you.
Watch yourself now. Watch yourself.
Let me explain that. Let me bring it home to you. You see, when we were renting on Parker Street for almost, 10 and a half years. When we were leaving, the owner of the property came to me and he says, listen, man, I've been renting, and he owns houses that he rents, apartments and stuff. He says, I've never seen anybody come in one of my places, rent it, and when they're leaving, it's better than how they got it. We fixed that place up to the point where it was looking way better. They had no air conditioning. We got an electrician to come in, run wires, do the thing to set up for air conditioning. We painted, we did the floors, we changed out the switches were broken and stuff. And everything was in order. When we were leaving, the place was clean.
Praise God.
God was watching us for 10 and a half years to see how well we're going to manage somebody else's property.
Yes.
We are praying and asking God, I want my own house, but you don't keep the place you are renting clean. See, that's management. Okay? You don't keep the place. You say, well, it ain't my place. See, God is watching you to see how well you will manage another person's property. And so when it came time, God says, now you are ready to have your own place, because, see, here's the thing. We maximized that whole place we had. Not 1 square inch of that rental space we did not use. We maximized the potential of the place. where we were, glory be to God, amen, somebody. And even now, where we are, we have maximized, in 2 years, we have maximized every square inch of where we are right now. To the point now where we spoke with the church and we're saving and we're putting monies together to make sure that in 5 years we can buy a bigger place.
Amen. Amen. Praise God. Praise
Okay.
God.
See, when you learn to manage what God gives you, He's going to give you more.
Yes. Yes. Amen.
So the problem is not, listen, again, you pray all you want to pray. Ask God. But God is going to look at your life. He's going to look at what He has given to you. And He's going to see how well you have managed that thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you don't manage your marriage well, you're going to lose it.
Yes. Praise God.
Okay. You don't own the material. And when you bring it back, it's supposed to be better and have more value.
Amen. That's right.
All right. Write this down. God will never give you what you pray for. Lord have mercy. I know that goes against so much religion. And only what you can manage.
Amen.
I'm a living witness of that.
Amen. Amen.
You're praying for $1,000 and God gave you 100 and you can't even give Him a tithe.
Oh my God.
$10. Hello. You're in an apartment and you're praying for God to give you a house and you can't even keep your apartment clean. You can't manage another person's property. So how will He give you one of your own? God will always give you work first. God will always give you work first before He allows you to have your own. He wants to see how well you manage another person's property first. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? I write this down. God wants you to be an economist. It means to get the maximum out of the minimum. That's what economists do. They figure out how to get the maximum out of the minimum. And that's what you and I got to learn to do. How can I get the most out of what I have? Oh, help us, God, today. Most people are not an economist because they don't know the value of what they have already. This is even why marriages fail, because the spouse don't know the value of what they have and abuse the person.
Amen.
What you don't value, you will abuse. Again, what you don't value, you will abuse. If you don't value money, if you don't value marriage, if you don't value relationships, if you don't value certain things, I'm telling you, the next step is abuse.
Amen.
This is why I don't give my kids just about anything they ask for. They got to work for it.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Because when they work for it, they'll appreciate it. They'll place greater value because they have to work for it. Amen, somebody. God will always put you and I in a position where we got to work first. I didn't just become a pastor overnight. God allowed me to be under somebody else. And He's going to watch and see how well I serve and how well I manage what they put in my hand. Glory to God. When I came to this state, glory to God, from Jersey, God already told me what He was going to do before I got here. When I walked in and I sat for a couple of weeks and I'm observing and I'm looking and I realized that, you know what, the sound system needed some work. So I went to the pastor and I said, look, this is my area. I can help the church with this. And he says, okay, go ahead. And so I went back to him and I said, well, it's going to cost X amount of money to really improve everything. And I said, I'll do all the work. You don't have to worry about that. And they fought against it. The board fought against it to improve something. Okay? Because of their view of money. Because to them, they're losing by giving some away.
Oh, God Almighty.
Not saying that they are maximizing something that they're supposed to maximize. Are you getting what I'm saying? And so, long story short, the pastor fought and fought until eventually they said yes. And they gave him money, bought the thing, set everything up. Then I offered myself to drive the church bus without they even coming to me. Eventually, I said, I want to teach Sunday school. What am I doing? I'm maximizing
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
my potential. Do you see that? I don't want to wait for people to ask me to do something. I already know what I can do, what I'm capable of. So I come to folks and say, here's what I can do. Do you want my service? Do you want me to help you? And if they say yes, then bam, I'm off to the race, man. I'm going to help them all the way through. Until they had me teach Sunday school. Then the pastor came back to me and he says, listen, I need you to be the Sunday school superintendent. I said, man, I don't know, I got to pray about this. I remember going on my knees and quickly God says, I opened the door, you walk through it.
Amen. Amen.
So I got up and said, okay, I called back the pastor. I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And that's the only